Hey there, it is Irina from careermanifestations.com. I'm so sorry I'm a few minutes late. I'm going to go ahead and share this inside of my private Facebook group. So give me just 1 second while you are waiting. While you guys are waiting, pull out your LinkedIn profiles because I'm going to walk you through this step by step. I'm not going to be sharing any screens or anything like that. So take out your LinkedIn. If you're watching this on your phone, I would recommend that you, hop over to a computer. If you are watching this on your computer, grab your phone and open up your LinkedIn profile. So let me just go ahead. I'm so sorry. I have my phone here on top of the screen, which is why I'm kind of like all over the place, but let me just get this shared inside of my private Facebook group and we'll get started right away. There is going to be a ton of information, so a lot of you may have to rewatch this, but I'm giving you a ton of information in this training. Sorry, I didn't have my mic. Not sure if you guys heard any of that, but let me know if you can hear me. So all right, so here we go. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing that I want to make clear is the purpose of LinkedIn, and I'm specifically referring to job seeking in particular because LinkedIn can be used for so many things. I constantly get clients on LinkedIn, so it is a platform for other things other than job seeking, right? With that being said, today I want to focus solely on those that are looking for new opportunities and looking to network with others on LinkedIn or find their next job opportunity on LinkedIn. I see some of you joining live. Please say hello in the comments. I do want this to be interactive. And also at the end, I'll be happy to review your profile. So get your profiles ready, be ready to share your URL in the comment section so that I can take a look at your profile, and if you have a specific question about your actual profile, I can walk you through it and give you some tips and tricks on how to optimize that. We'll do that at the end. So a few things that we are going to talk about is how to optimize your profile. I'm going to go really quick, so there's going to be a ton of information. Again, let me know in the comments if you can see me and hear me. That's like my biggest thing, is like to keep talking and you can't hear me. So Caitlin, hello. Okay, that means you can hear me, see me. Wonderful. So let's get started. I have my profile open and I'm going to go from top to bottom of what should be on your profile. What should be on your profile. So I'm going to go top to bottom of everything that should be on your profile for it to be optimized. The next thing we're going to do is talk about dashboard and some benchmark stats of where I want to see your dashboard, like the numbers on your dashboard, where I want to see those numbers at once we've optimized it, not where you need to be now, because a lot of you are just starting out, hence the purpose of you being here. But the benchmark numbers of where you want to be. And once you do have a fully cost optimized profile, those numbers will drastically increase fairly quickly, right? So once we've optimized it, your profile views will go up, you'll begin to show up in more recruiter search results, and it will, opportunities will go into your inbox. You'll start seeing a lot of those open up for you guys. So I'm also going to give you some tips and tricks on once your profile is optimized, once you submit your application for a certain position, whether that be on LinkedIn, on Indeed, Career Builder, wherever you guys are looking for new opportunities, how you can follow up with certain people. So I will be sharing some tips and tricks with that. So there's going to be a lot, so let's dive right in. Again, if you are watching this on replay, I know a lot of people told me that they couldn't really join this live because it's Friday in like the mid-afternoon, right? So a lot of you may be at work, but I wanted to do this when it was convenient for me and when I'm most awake is kind of around this time. So hopefully some of you will be catching this around lunchtime too. Again, I do want this to be interactive. If you do want me to look at your profile once this is done, leave it in the comments. So let's get started, you guys. Okay, so I am on my main profile, right? And the first thing that I want to focus on speaking about is what is above the fold. And what I mean above the fold is without having anyone scroll, right? So the first two things that I immediately see when I jump on anyone's profile is that background image, right? That background image behind your headshot and your headshot. So those are the two things. And this is not for optimizing, this is for branding, right? You want your professional brand to stand out to anyone, to make them continue going down your profile. And those two things are super vital to having an optimized profile. It's not going to make people find you on LinkedIn, right? But it is going to make them actually read what is on your profile. So very, very important to get rid of that default background image. It does come with that kind of uglyish blue background. I do recommend getting a customized background on there. I do have a link actually that I can give to you if you want. I'm going to include it in the comments right now within my group. So if you're not a part of my group, make sure you join Career Manifestations. It is a private Facebook group. So if you're watching this on my page, you're going to have to join the group to get the download for what I just mentioned. That is going to give you 20 different beautiful background images for your LinkedIn, which is step one of optimizing your profile. Okay, so once we have that background image, the next thing that I highly recommend is getting a good headshot. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this quite a bit because it is important. A lot of people really ignore this, and this can be a deal breaker. I'm not saying it's a deal breaker. I'm not the main one. I have shown. So just to backtrack a little bit, I do have a background in 10 years of recruiting and staffing for Fortune 500 companies. And I've hired a lot of people, a lot of job seekers, a lot of candidates. And I worked one-on-one for about 2 years now with clients, helping them find jobs. Okay, so I've gotten feedback from a lot of hiring managers based on that headshot. Okay, so I have shown I found really great profiles of candidates that hiring managers were looking for, and I submitted those profiles to hiring managers, and based on that picture, it was a make it or break it deal. So that is how important it is. So I highly recommend that if you have the budget, you know, it's not going to be super expensive. Look up a local photographer that does headshots. So go to Google, type in headshot photographer, your location, and book a session. It's not going to take you very long. It's just a headshot. What I do recommend you do is bring something that you would be wearing to an interview, something professional, and get a good headshot, a nice, well-lit photo. You smiling, engaging, you know, with whoever's landing on your profile. Super important. A lot of people, what they do is they make the mistake of adding a picture that they would add on other social media platforms. And LinkedIn is a professional social media platform. It is getting a little bit more casual than it has been in the past, but it is still professional, right? So you don't want like yourself cut out of any headshots, anything that you would have on Facebook on vacation with, you know, your kids, your pets, looking away in a photo is a no-no. I've had a hiring manager one time say, this is a great profile. However, this person, it looks like this is a prom photo. So a picture says a million words, right? You want to get that super as professional as possible. If you don't have the means or time to go get it professionally taken, go ahead and ask a friend that has a good eye to grab an iPhone, an Android, those have really good cameras now, and have them take a picture with you with like a neutral background, get a blouse on, a blazer, and a nice smile looking into the camera. So I know I'm ranting a little bit more than I should about this, but this is super important because those are the two things they're going to see, is that background image and your photo. And the photo being obviously more important than the background image, but the two kind of go together, and that's like the first thing that people see. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit and tell you like the purpose of LinkedIn as a job seeker. It's twofold, right? You have two goals on LinkedIn. So whenever a recruiter receives your resume and your application that you submitted to the company, the first thing they're going to do is not read your cover letter, not, dive deep into your resume. The first thing they're going to do before they make a decision on whether or not they're going to reach out to you for a phone interview is check you out on LinkedIn, because they definitely want to see what you're all about. They want to see who it is that they are going to be calling, right? And we as human beings, we do unfortunately judge, right? Like, I'm not the one, again, I'm not the main one, I'm not the one judging. I myself have submitted profiles over to hiring managers, and they are the ones that are judging, right? Because they know who they want to work for, right? So if they see a person out at a networking event or somewhere else, it's the same thing, right? They could tell whether or not you'll be a good cultural fit or not. So with that being said, that profile image is super duper important. And if you see my kitty cat in the background, her name is Spooky. I have stopped trying to make her go away in lives because she just doesn't like it. And whenever we go live, she needs to be in the background, center of attention. So I do apologize for that. Okay, you guys, give me some feedback. Let me know if this is making sense to you. Let me know if you have any questions so far. I know we didn't cover much and I said I was going fast, but the rest of this will be faster, but I did need to explain that. So the next thing that I want you to do is with regards to your name. So if you happen to have anything other than your first name, last name, a lot of people, the mistake that they make is they include after their last name their designations, their MD, their master's degree, their CPA, their whatever, right? This is a major, major mistake. And this is not, again, according to me. This is according to LinkedIn. So what happens is what recruiters do, and I actually forgot to mention the second part of LinkedIn, the second reason why you need to optimize your profile is for recruiters to find you on something called LinkedIn Recruiter. So twofold, backing track. Sorry, I get super scattered and go into tangents, but to backtrack, when they get your resume, they're going to check you out on LinkedIn, but also you have an opportunity for them to find you directly on LinkedIn without you having to do anything, right? So if your profile is fully optimized, they'll be able to find you on LinkedIn via a searching tool called LinkedIn Recruiter. So a lot of companies, most top companies, even small startups, they pay for a license on LinkedIn. It costs thousands of dollars. It is pricey because you're able to basically, as a recruiter, search for candidates that are like the perfect fit, right? So whenever a recruiter actually posts a job and not enough candidates actually apply, or not enough of the right candidates apply, what they will do is use LinkedIn Recruiter to find active candidates. So that is the reason why my profile is super optimized, and even though I'm not a job seeker, I'm getting multiple messages per week for job opportunities because I have a fully optimized profile. So we went over the two things. Those are not optimization techniques, but those are things to make anyone that's landing on your page actually want to continue going down and reading about it. All right, so so with the name, never include after your last name, never include any designations, because in the back end, if they don't have a direct link to your profile, they are going to look you up by first name, last name. So if your last name has those designations like comma, MD, CPA, whatever other designations you guys have, I know you're super proud of them, which is totally fine, but there is a place on your profile to actually mention those, and it's not after your last name. So right now, if you have any designations after your last name, take them out, because it's going to be difficult for a recruiter to find you by your last name. So the field fields that they can search you by are first name and last name. There's other fields as well, which I will get into, but if they are searching for first name, last name, you're gonna trip them up if you have designations after your last name. Let me know if that's making sense. The only thing you need for your name, just to be clear, is your first name, last name, no designations. Okay, gonna take a sip of water. Guys, let me know if this is making sense. Let me know if you're liking this training. Let me know what your thoughts are. I do want this to be interactive. I do want you to get a lot of information out of this, and a lot of you are going to have to rewatch this. I'm just going to check out how this is going on my page and to see if any questions are popping up there. A few people want to join the group for this training, so let me just quickly add them and let you guys kind of let you guys take a little breather really quick, and I will continue in just a second. But I do want to see the questions that do come in. Okay, so I am getting a couple of comments on there. You're going to get Googled before anything else. Yes, Brian. Sounds great. Hello. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Allison. Hey, Brian. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so now I have you guys on 2 different screens so I could see your comments on both. I'm working with 3 screens here, guys. I apologize. All right, so moving on, you are going to get Googled and looked up on LinkedIn. So, I mean, you are going to get Googled. That's a whole separate topic. You definitely should Google yourself if you are in the job search. Make sure that everything is looking professional as possible on all your social media platforms. But today we're talking about LinkedIn specifically. All right, so underneath your name, you have the headline. Okay, so now we're talking optimization strategy. So a lot of people make this mistake. If you are currently doing this thing that I'm about to mention, hop over to your LinkedIn and change it immediately. So a lot of people put looking for opportunity, looking for new opportunities, looking for new positions, open, whatever it is that you have on there, that's not what I'm gonna tell you, take it off, okay? Okay, so think of anything that's text on your profile as a way for you to optimize via keyword, okay? So the headline should be a way for anyone that's landing on your page to quickly tell what it is that you do, who you are, but also you want to be strategic in the way to use synonyms in there as well, right? So remember, when I'm searching for a candidate on LinkedIn, I am thinking, okay, say for example, I'm looking for a recruiter because I was a recruiter and I'm looking for a brand new recruiter. So what I'm going to do, if I don't have your name, if I'm just looking for just cold sources, cold candidates, I'm going to be looking for a recruiter, but I may call that person a talent acquisition specialist. I may also look for human resources. I may just look for HR. So you want to get in the brain of how the recruiter is going to be searching for you with, okay? It could be the industry. It definitely is going to be your job title. If your job title is president of what, okay? VP of what? Manager of what, okay? So while you can include manager, you want to talk about specifically what it is that you do as best as you can, okay? So think of it in the way of how other people are going to be searching for you by. So if you don't have a good idea of what your job title can be named in another way, so different industries name different job titles in different ways. So as I mentioned, for me, a recruiter can be an account manager even. It could be a recruiting specialist. It could be an HR specialist. It could be an HR rep. It could be so many different things. People partner. It could be named so many different things, and we want to think of maybe 4 different ways, okay? The top ways that you've seen your job title mentioned in the past. And that's what you want to include there. So right now I have career coach, and the way that I want you to do it, if you want to check out my profile, look me up on LinkedIn and see how I have it done. But basically, put the actual title, then put a divider, like a vertical divider, and then put the next keyword, divider, keyword, divider, keyword. So think of 4 or 5 different keywords, right? So the other thing I want you to know is the more times that you can include a specific keyword, the higher you will pop up in their search results, right? We're optimizing. It's a lot like optimizing a website. The more times you can include a keyword on a certain website, the higher it's going to rank in a Google search result. Same rules apply here. You want to include your, the word that is more likely to be searched for in the back end of LinkedIn Recruiter as many times as possible on your profile. So that's the first place where we can include keywords, but it should explain what you do as well. So think of different ways. A key tip here, if you don't know what your job title could be named as, what you could do is go on Indeed, go on LinkedIn, like where the jobs are, and type in what it is that you do, and you will see synonyms. Another thing you could do is just go on Google and write synonyms for your job title, and I'm sure you'll see some of those as well. Okay. Right underneath of that is your profile summary. So the one thing I'll say about profile summary is you want to keep it short. A lot of people spell out everything that they've done, their entire career, everything they're looking out for in their next position. Do not do that. So summary by definition is short, concise. You want to be short, concise, and compelling, but this is another place where you can include keywords. But the way that I want you to do it is by thinking of 2 to 3 sentences that are all encompassing of what you've done throughout your career, right? So are you experienced 5 years experience in XYZ in this industry? That could be a sentence. And then talk about your results. Numbers are great, percentages are great. So anytime you can include those are really great, but all encompassing of your career. So give a career summary, sit down and really take time to think of a good intro. It's a nice little summary of what you've done in your career. Let me know if this is making sense. Let me know if this is helpful to you guys. I do want to see interaction. And yes. So I do have 2 screens, super confusing. Let me know if this is making sense. And let me actually link those covers over to you guys here as well that are watching on the page. All right. So moving on, after the summary, what you can do, again, this is another place for you to utilize keywords. So right underneath of your summary, you will literally write my skill set or my key skill sets include, and then list out all of your key skill sets. Okay, again, you can include, I would include things like human resources, I would include things like new hire orientation, just keywords that recruiters would be searching for you by. Okay, so let's skip over the dashboard. I'll talk about that last. Let's move into your experience, okay? So what you want to make sure is what's on your resume is what's on your LinkedIn. So a major red flag that I have seen is that people get their dates wrong. And they'll be off by a month or 2, and that's going to be a red flag. So remember that recruiters and hiring managers, they're always trained to look for red flags, right? They're not looking for ways to things to hire you with. They're looking for things that are going to be strikes against you. That's just how they're trained, not how I'm trained. I do want to see the best in people, but we're trained to kind of like mitigate the risk of who we're hiring, and by doing that, all of these red flags come before that initial phone call happens. So you want to do as a job seeker is have everything perfect, right? So there are no red flags. So dates that are wrong between your resume and your LinkedIn is going to maybe not get a potential phone call. So make sure that the dates and the job titles and the companies are the same that you are sending from your resume on your LinkedIn. Always make sure that dates are accurate, job titles are accurate, the companies are accurate. Okay, so if it's on your resume, rule of thumb, if it's on your resume, it should be on your LinkedIn. If it's not on your resume any longer, take it off your LinkedIn. Keep it updated as well. You're updating your resume always, you're updating your LinkedIn as well. Apologize for this craziness in the background. It happens every time. I'm so used to this. I hope you guys don't mind. Okay, so with your experience, you want to include obviously the job titles that you've held. You could also use this as a place to put synonyms as well. For my position, if you're looking at my profile right now, I have 4 different things on there, right? So I have career coach, job search strategist, blogger, and course creator. And that is done intentionally for the audience that I have. But if you are looking for that next opportunity, obviously you're going to include whatever job title the company gave you if you're not raising any flags, if you are currently employed, but you could use synonyms there as well, right? So that's like 2 places now that you could have included a different job title, right? So if I were looking for a job and right now I was unemployed, not raising any red flags, if I was not worried about any kind of recruiter asking me my current job, like, hey, are you looking for a new position? What I would include there are synonyms of recruiter. I would include human resources. I would include human resource specialist, again, dividing it with that vertical divider. But right now, if you are currently employed in your position, just include the job title that you would have included on your resume. Then I definitely want you to include the months and years, right? So always include months and years on both resume and your LinkedIn, and make sure that those are all synced up. Let me know if you have any questions. Erin is asking, is there any way to change your title without LinkedIn making an announcement to your followers? Yes. So once you go in there and try to edit the title, before it actually publishes, it's going to ask you, do you want this to be announced? Like, do you want this to be announced to your network? So it will prompt you, and any changes that you make, any significant changes that you do make, not dates, but I believe if you make the job title, it will ask you if you want to announce this. If it's going to announce it, it's going to ask you, right? So I know a lot of you don't want like your entire network, maybe your coworkers, to know what you're up to. So if it's going to announce it to your feed, it will ask you if you want to make the announcement. So if it's like the job title won't do that, it won't ask you, but I'm pretty sure it will. Let me know if that answered your question, Erin. All right, so the next thing I want you to do is another amazing place to do optimization is within each position. So the best way I can describe it is, I'm not going to go into too much detail. The easiest way for me to like give you this information is take the bullet points off of your resume and put them onto the experience in every single position, okay? Again, keeping keywords in mind. Anytime you can include a keyword in there is great, but the way that I want you to do it is by using I wish I can like screen share with you guys, but you want white space in between your bullet pointed sentences. So actually copy paste a bullet pointed sentence, take out the bullet point and put it as one sentence, right? Then make a space in between and then put the next bullet pointed sentence, okay? So take the actual bullet point out, don't do anything but put the sentence, the full sentence, a space in between, then the next sentence, okay? So in marketing, there's a concept with white space that makes it easier to read. If you guys have ever gotten any kind of emails from me, you'll see that I don't put more than 1 or 2 sentences in between, because as online we scan, we don't like go in there and read. So right now, if you have paragraphs about your current company, what they do, if you've copy pasted that, take that out. That's not serving you. Nobody cares about your company, they care about what you've done. So take the bullet points however they are on your resume. We're not going to be talking about resume optimization today, we're talking about LinkedIn. So however you have it on your resume, Hopefully you have done some trainings with me in the past and you do have a fully optimized resume. But whatever it is that you have on your resume right now, take those bullet pointed sentences and put them onto your positions, okay? Also, take a look again and make sure that you don't have much more experience on your LinkedIn. Like if you have every single position on your LinkedIn and it's not on your profile, you don't want to go more, let's say back more than 10 years. Okay, rule of thumb is like 7, 8, something like that. If you have any positions prior to 10 years, take them out. You want to keep your profile fresh, you want to keep it relevant, and no one is going to be, reading down past what you did in the 90s. Take all of that out. Okay. Next, let's go into education. Education is pretty straightforward. You're going to include your highest form of education that you've obtained, and you're going to take out high school. Okay, a lot of people do have high school in there. Nobody cares about your high school unless that is your highest form of education. In that case, you would just include high school. You would include any kind of continuing education that you've had. So if you don't necessarily have a degree, but if you've taken classes, you can put the school and you can put just the courses that you've taken. So as much education as you can get on there is going to be great. Guys, let me know if this is making sense. If you have any questions, we are like towards the end of the profile. Okay, so skills and endorsements, you definitely want to go in there and add any of your relevant skills and take out any kind of skills that are no longer relevant to your next position, right? So if you have things in there that you've included on there since the first day that you logged into LinkedIn, then take those out. And if you have any new ones, right, again, this is a place for us to keyword optimize. Include those, okay? So you have, I believe, a chance for a good amount of skills. I believe it's up to like 50 now, if I'm not mistaken. So include as many as you can think of, and then also pin the ones that you want endorsed at the very top, okay? So endorsements do help with optimization as well. Next, let's talk about recommendations. Get as many as possible because a profile with recommendations is much more credible and is social proof that you are who you say you are and other people have enjoyed working with you. So think about who can give you a recommendation. A recommendation does not have to come from your old manager that you no longer want to work with. It can come from professors, it can come from colleagues, it can come from clients, it can come from someone that you have done work with. That doesn't necessarily have to be in your past jobs. It could be a freelancing position. So a lot of my recommendations come from clients, for example. You can think of professors, you can think of even, peers, colleagues, anyone, right? So you're going to either go to the recommendations section and there right on top you'll see ask for recommendation, type in their name, or you can just like scroll through your network, right? Your network is at the very top of LinkedIn. If you click on my network and just look through your network and go to their profile, at the top of every profile will be a place where you can ask for recommendation. What I recommend you do is if the person agrees to give you a recommendation is that you kind of ghostwrite your own recommendation, keep it factual, not subjective, and ask them, because most people are busy and they'll say, yeah, I'll get around to it. But if you give them a little blurb of what you would like for them to include, they'll be much more likely to hit publish and you'll get that recommendation right away. I know it feels weird to be writing your own recommendation, but a lot of time people just need a little nudge and know that you're looking for recommendations. If you are an active job seeker, get as many as you can on there. This does help with credibility and social proof, which is so important when hiring. Guys, let me know if this is making sense. If you're enjoying this, let me know. I'm seeing a ton of comments come in. I'm loving that you guys are loving this. And I will be doing more of these kinds of trainings in the future. Let me see how many comments we have. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So let's see. once our recommendations, okay, so once we've completed that, we have accomplishments. So here you have the opportunity to include anywhere you've been published, any certifications that you have included on top, that you're certified in. For example, I am LinkedIn Recruiter certified. That's a certification that I have put in. Some people are project management certified. Put those certifications in there. Those are, again, keywords. So for example, as a recruiter, if I'm looking for a project manager that does have a certification like a PMP, I believe it's called, I will put that in there. Also, remember, anytime you can include the full name of something on your resume and LinkedIn, and also acronym in parentheses, go ahead and do that. So publications, certifications, any patents, any courses that you're taking. So this could be online and offline. I know online courses are very popular. I have an online course for job seekers. I mean, I wouldn't put that, but I would definitely think of other courses that you've taken maybe on Udemy, on Teachable, or anything like that that would enhance your candidacy. A lot of people take stuff that's just in their spare time, like hobbies, right? Things like that. That would be interesting to some people that maybe have a similar hobby as you. For example, I, as a recruiter, I'm totally into fitness. I'm into bar. I'm into so many different things, right? If I happen to see a candidate, they have great experience, but we also share that commonality of a hobby that's similar. That's something that you can include in there. Some food for thought. Projects, honors, awards, honors, things like that could be, again, in your education. Awards could be given to you at work, right? You could be the rookie of the year of your sales class, like whatever it is that you can include in there. Definitely include any kind of languages that you're bilingual in, include that in there, and any organizations that you are a part of. That's super interesting to employers to see that you're involved in any charities, organizations, anything that makes you a human is good on LinkedIn as well. Okay, next, interest. I'll talk about interest really quick. Let me see if there are any questions. Anybody have any specific questions related to specifically what I spoke about with optimizing your profile? All right, let's see. I wish I could see the comments a little bit better. I am planning on going back to school for dental assisting in March. Hey, Caitlin, any advice on someone making a career transition utilizing LinkedIn? Yeah, for sure. Let me take a look at your LinkedIn. So yeah, guys, drop your LinkedIn in the comments. If you want me to take a look at your LinkedIn and you have a specific question about optimizing, then I will give you some benchmarks in terms of what numbers you should be looking for in dashboards to see that your profile is fully optimized. So Caitlin, you are using my background image cover. I love that. And you are using keywords. So I love that. Health enthusiast, exercise scientist, young professional. So I don't think that anyone would be looking for the keyword young professional. Although you are young professional, I would probably include that within your summary, right? So you could start with young professional and then go into the rest of your summary. So hello, my name is Caitlin. That's pretty redundant because you know your name is Caitlin at the very top. I'm a graduate of State University, so you have your bachelor's degree. That all goes into your education section. So you are wasting a little bit of space here by introducing yourself. So the LinkedIn already does the introduction for you. So think of what you can talk about in terms of your career. So I know that you're probably fairly new, but it looks like you were a club manager. And I love it. You've already optimized it the exact way that I've said it. So this is really good. I love. Okay, so you do have experience. So talk about your experience. Talk about some accomplishments that you've had in these different positions. You could talk about what you're passionate about. I love that you have your education. I love the way that you've spelled it out. Really great. It looks like you're following those companies. Awesome. So your profile looks good. Your resume is right on there, which is good. However, Yeah, I would work on the summary. I would work on the summary and I would think of other ways that you would describe. So think of what kinds of positions you're applying for and what the titles of those positions are, and include those instead of young professional. If positions are called exercise scientists, you can definitely include those. Health enthusiast, I wouldn't be searching for that on LinkedIn. You could include that maybe as the last one, just for the person to know that you're a human being, but those are not keywords. So think in terms of keywords and work on your summary. Let me know if that was helpful, Caitlin. But overall, your profile is looking really good and I do love it, so good job. Okay, so let's take a look at dashboard. If you guys, anywhere, if you want to include, if you're missing the beginning of this video, once I'm done, you'll be able to watch the replay because I am talking about a lot of different things. All right, let's talk about the dashboard. So your dashboard is the section, it's like a bluish gray area right underneath of your summary. So take a look at your dashboard right now that is private to only you. No one else can see it. So I'm not an active job seeker, but because I made the changes that I spoke about in this video, which again, you can go back and watch this, some benchmarks that I want you to look out for too. Who viewed your profile? Okay, the number of views that you're getting on your profile should be in the triple digits if you are an active job seeker. For example, right now I have, and this is in the span of 90 days. So this isn't like in one day or a week. This is in the span of 90 days. So I had 571 people on there. Let me know if you are in the triple digits or if you're in double digits. Let me know where you guys are at currently. I have 571 people that have viewed my profile, and I am showing up in 159 search results. Again, I'm not an active job seeker, and I want you guys to aspire to getting into the triple digits of profile views and into the triple digits in search results. Okay, so if you're appearing in more search results, the probability that you are showing up on the first or second page of recruiter search results is high. You want to pop up to the very top, and the way you do that is by incorporating the things that I just spoke about. Okay, so, oh hey, how are you? Is there a section for reach out to, what do you mean? Reach out. Oh, do you mean in your dashboard, like career advice and things like that? Okay, so I'm taking a look at another profile. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm good. I don't want to butcher it. I don't want to butcher it, but I am going to send you a connection. And also, you guys, make sure that you have an open profile. The way that you do that is by going into your settings. So you go to your profile at the very top, and under like where you can view your profile, if you go to settings and privacy, make sure that you are open to everybody. So, you know, there's no reason why people have to request a connection to you to be able to see your full profile, especially if you're in the job search. We're not hiding anything. It's not Facebook. There's no private photos on here. Everything should be public, and people should be able to reach out to you and connect with you without having to make a connection. Not saying that was the case, but because we're not connected, I want to make sure I'm seeing your full profile. So how do you pronounce your name? Only 4 searches this week. Okay, so let's take a look at what could be going on. So you have a headshot. However, I would love to see you smiling. I would love to see you smiling in this headshot. If you have any from that session, this does look like a professional headshot, which I love. But if you could be smiling, which makes you a little bit more approachable and friendly, go ahead and put that. So publisher at company. Okay, so this wouldn't really do anything for me because the only keyword that I'm getting on there is publisher. So if I'm looking for a publisher, that would be it. That would be the only keyword that I'm getting on there. So think of other ways that you can think of publisher, author, other ways. I'm not sure what other synonyms I can think of for publisher off the top of my head right now, but think of other ways. What industries do you publish? What kinds of books do you write? What kind of articles? What industries do you write for? And again, the publisher, include your experience within those positions. So I don't see any experience outside of where you were a lecturer. So include the experience as it is on your resume inside of each of those positions. And you have recommendations, which is great. Also, you guys, if you give a recommendation to someone, they'll be more inclined to give it to you as well. So think of people that may look for a recommendation, may need a recommendation. You could also give a kudos now to people. So, you have 3 recommendations, which is a great start. A publication, so include your experience and also include some keywords at the very top. And everything else is looking really good. Okay, so some benchmarks again. You want triple views and you want to appear in search results. So I'm going to tell you guys about, in the dashboard, you have the opportunity to turn your profile to be searchable for recruiters. Now, recruiters can see your profile even if this is not on, or if it's not on, but if you do have it on, you are more likely to get opportunities directly into your inbox and more likely to be approached by recruiters. Reason being is that when a recruiter does a search, they pull up search for what they're looking for in LinkedIn Recruiter. What ends up happening is that they get 3 different columns. The first column is everyone that's on LinkedIn, whether or not they have their LinkedIn open. So everyone on LinkedIn that matches their search results for what they're looking for. The second section is everyone that's actively looking. Okay. So if you're actively looking, they're more inclined to approach you with an opportunity because recruiters get a certain amount of credits to send out. Because if you guys have ever had like a premium account on LinkedIn, you get a certain amount of like opportunities to reach out to decision makers or whoever you're trying to network with. Same thing kind of applies within LinkedIn Recruiter. They get a certain amount of credits depending on how many the company purchased for them. If you as a job seeker respond back, they get that credit in mail back, right? So they are going to be more inclined to reach out to you and not waste their credits all over the place, so then they can't reach out to any more people if you're actively looking. And if you are actively looking, they'll know to reach out to you guys. So this is a touchy subject because a lot of people are like, I don't want to raise any red flags within my company right now. I don't want to turn that on. And that's fine. Just know you are limiting yourself in that capacity, right? If it is turned on, you will be appearing in more search results and getting more eyeballs onto your profile. Now, I do have a caveat to that. I did see that recently. What they did is it says, we take steps not to show your current company that you're open, but can guarantee complete privacy. So this has been a big thing, right? Like you're looking for a job, you are in a company, but you don't want your current company recruiter to find you actively looking. So I'm not sure how accurate this is, but it looks like they have taken steps to not have you show up in your own company search results. So that does give a little bit of, it makes me feel a little better saying to turn that on, but again, be cautious if you are going to be bold and turn that on if you are currently employed. Just have a good reason prepared. For example, when I was in corporate, I just never turned it off, and I just, if that conversation ever happened, I would just let them know that I'm open to networking opportunities. I'm not actively looking. Just don't get caught off guard is my thing. I don't want you to come back to me screaming at me saying, Irina, you told me to turn this on, now I lost my job. So I definitely don't want that to happen to you guys. Okay, Jessica says, if you can provide any input on my profile, it would be greatly appreciated. I have been overhauling it for the past few days. Still need to hit on bullet points for each position. Certainly, Jessica. So I love your URL. The one thing also is make sure to edit your URL. It's called a vanity URL. You can find this on your profile at the very top. If you go to your profile, at the very top it says edit public URL. Make sure that's your first name, last name, or a mixture of like your first name, middle name, last name, because you want to take that URL and include it onto your resume, right? You want them to be able to look at your profile and not have to search for you. So that's a little bit of more advice. So yeah, Jessica, I'm on your profile. Love it. I love your background. Love it, love it. I wish I could like show you guys. So Jessica has a background where it's, I'm pretty sure you probably created this in Canva. So that's probably, Jessica, let me know if you created your background in Canva. And if you see it in the comments, guys, go to her profile. I love this. This shows, you know, her name at the very top and who she is and what she does. So automatically I see a great smile. I could tell this girl is totally friendly. Like just by that background alone, it shows so much personality, and it shows that she's a customer service professional and more, right? So I love it. I love the backgrounds. Love it. So high caliber customer service pro, BA psychology. So BA psychology, that's already going to be in your education. So again, I would take that off just like I would in the back of your name. I would take that off of there. Actively looking for full-time opportunities. Okay, so yes, we're going to take that out because we're going to optimize our profile, and no one is searching. I said this in the very beginning of this live, is no one is searching for actively seeking for full-time opportunities. No one is searching for those key terms. So you're wasting a lot of valuable real estate by including that on there. Plus, I hate to say this, and I say this the nicest way possible, it looks kind of desperate, right? And I know you're actively looking for opportunities because you're going to open up your profile for those opportunities, and your profile is going to be fully optimized. That's the best strategy, not by putting that you're actively open to opportunities. So take those two bits out. And the last one, I'm not sure what you mean. So customer service representative is a good keyword for you, and I recruited for customer service, so I kind of can give you a couple of different synonyms. Take a look at what industries that you're looking for. You could probably put an industry. Let me see. You were a customer service rep at Bedley. I'm not sure what Bedley is, but I would customer service representative. Think of other ways. I actually can't think of any other ones, but think of other ways that you could describe what it is that you do. So you're an actual supervisor. So I would actually put customer service supervisor. I would put customer service agent. I would definitely put, you were a marketing associate, so you could put marketing in there if you are interested in the marketing industries. So things like that I would include on there. So that's awesome. If you're looking for a warm body to fill it, okay, show more. Okay, yeah, so this is exactly what I spoke about in the summary. You have four big, kind of like, not big paragraphs, but you have 4 paragraphs. So you want to condense that as much as possible into 2 or 3 paragraphs, and then write my key skill sets include customer service, whatever your keywords are on your profile. And a great place to get keywords is actually from job descriptions, okay? So take a look at what the next step looks like. Take a look at what keywords are in job descriptions. Okay, so you switched it on for recruiters. Bold, bold, bold. Love it. So once you have that turned on, you are going to get those numbers up, and you are going to be approached for more opportunities. Jessica, let me know if that was helpful. The other advice that I can give you is, in the experience, break it down by bullet points. So right now you're saying my current role, blah, 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 blah. Like, don't get overly wordy here. Bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, maximum 5 bullet points, and you're done for that position. I love how you have it laid out. You have the dates all really well, and you're in New York. So that is probably why I'm loving on your profile so much. I'm in New York City myself. So yeah, everything else looks really great. We have some volunteer experience on there. I'm actually going to give you some endorsements right now. I'm going to say that we work together indirectly. and recommendations. You have 6 of them. So you are winning on everything. But take a look at those 2 things. Let me know if that was helpful. I love it. Okay, do you think the one-click application is best or to do a formal email? All right, so guys, with that being said, let's dive into the next piece of it. So some tips and tricks once your profile is fully optimized. So to answer that question is one-click apply is totally okay, but what I recommend you do is whenever you find a position on Indeed, LinkedIn, Career Builder, Monster, wherever it is that you guys are looking for new positions, what I recommend that you do is go to find that position on the company website and apply directly through that applicant tracking system, okay? So what companies do is they publish that position typically on their website, and it also goes out to all of these job boards. So the reason I recommend you do that is it goes directly into their applicant tracking system. So when you apply through the one-click apply, you can certainly do that, but all it will do is it will show them your profile. What I would love for you to do is you could do that, but also try to apply through directly into their applicant tracking system. Most of the time, as a recruiter, I would prefer to get the resume. Okay, I know there's a place where you can actually attach your resume. So if you are applying for a position, but if there's like a position that you truly are like dying to have, that you're truly passionate about, I would encourage you to visit that specific company website and do the search, look it up, find that position in your city and directly apply on there. And the reason for that is because you can set up alerts to alert you within there as well for other opportunities. So say that position doesn't pan out, you could always get new opportunities and get that alert directly into your inbox right away. Right, so whenever that company posts another position, you're in customer service. I know that companies do mass hirings of customer service at companies. So whenever a position opens up for you, you will get alerted and you can apply right away. So you'll be first in line for that position. And the next thing that I recommend you do is always take a look and see again if you find a position on LinkedIn. And if there is a job poster, reach out to that job poster and let them know in a good networking message, not like, hey, I applied for this position, but put together a good networking message, okay? Letting the person know the value that you would be bringing to the organization. Let them know that you've applied, that you're interested, that you've done some research on the company, what you like about the company, what you would bring to that position, right? So do a little bit more legwork, and that will go much further than just, one click apply, one click apply, one click apply. Go in and apply to that company, take a look at the company, make sure that's actually where you want to work. One click apply. If it looks like, the position is a good fit for you, you could go ahead and do that. Just make sure you attach your resume, because one click apply with that resume is just giving them your LinkedIn profile, which I don't prefer. Some recruiters might like that. I want to see your full resume. I do want to see your cover letter. I want to see what you're all about. Hey, Nika. I feel like adding you on here so we could chat. Okay, Erin says, I've been laid off, but I haven't changed the dates of my last job. Is that bad? Let me take a look at your profile again. I'm getting so much action here. You're welcome, Jessica. You're welcome for endorsing you. You're very, very welcome. I'm very happy to help out fellow job seekers. So let me take a look at your profile. Hey, Nika. You would be help on this topic for creating background images for LinkedIn. So I don't think it's bad, right? So you could leave. It just depends. Like, how long has it been that you've been laid off? If it's within the month, you may have just not updated your your LinkedIn, right? But if it's been a few months, I think it's good to be forthright and honest, and there's no shame in getting laid off. I've been laid off. It's just a matter of perspective and how you explain that to employers. But the upside is, like, if you optimize your profile, you open it up for recruiters to find you. If they see that you're not currently working right now, they'll certainly reach out to you with opportunities. So I don't think it's a bad thing, and you'll probably be more inclined to start sooner rather than later. So if there's a position that a recruiter needs to fill right away, then that's going to be an advantage. Everything is perspective and how you look at it in the job search. So you can think, a lot of my clients, my one-on-one clients, think that this is holding me back, gaps in my resume, that I've had temp jobs. And I know that there is one client in particular who I love. She was struggling through going through a lot of temp positions, and now she wanted a more permanent role, and she thinks that's holding her back. Well, yes, I mean, that there's nothing you can do to change that, right? You've been in a lot of temporary positions, and now you're looking for a permanent role. But when you go in for an interview, right, you can think of it as, no, this is going to hold me back, I'm never going to get this job. Or you can think of it as, you know what, that was what was available at the moment, and that's just the reality, right? So I'm going to be in a position of power and explain it in a way that's positive, right? So you can definitely spin any kind of situation in a positive way, even if you've been laid off, right? Maybe right now you're taking time off to really find the right opportunity for yourself. So once you get approached and that question gets asked, like, what have you been doing for the past, again, I don't know how long you've been laid off, but say it's been 3 months, you could say that I am taking the time right now to look for the perfect opportunity with an organization where I can learn and grow and develop, and I'm taking my time to do that. That's it. And meanwhile, right now I'm, volunteering, I'm doing charity work, whatever it is that you're doing. Hopefully you are doing something to keep yourself busy outside of just job searching. So you could definitely talk about that as it relates to your next position. If you are just doing absolutely nothing, again, you can mention the thing that I just said and let them know that this is what it is, and I'm just looking for the perfect opportunity and taking my time to do that. All right, so some tips and tricks. Once you guys are networking, if there is a job poster for the positions that you do find on LinkedIn, certainly reach out to those job posters. Don't just rely on one-click apply or applying to a position. Always try to find people in that company that can ally for you, okay? Because the best way to get your next opportunity is definitely through networking, and you can network with employees. So say there's a job and you've reached out to the company, you've applied to the company, I should say, and you want that next opportunity, right? Say it's with Pinterest, okay? So say I see a position, recruiting position on LinkedIn, I go onto Pinterest, I apply, I send them an amazing cover letter, resume, all of that is squared away. My profile is fully optimized. I'm going to see if I can find a recruiter within that organization that could guide me towards, that opportunity. I would also ask for, say I'm looking for recruiting, so this would be a little bit different, but say I'm looking for a position in marketing, I would find whoever you think is a decision maker within the department where you want to work, right? So we had someone from customer service. So if you're looking for a customer service position, find out who the customer service director, supervisor, whoever that is, find out who that person is on LinkedIn, okay? And reach out to as many people as you guys can, right? They're not going to all go around the lunchroom table and compare notes and say, hey, did you hear that so-and-so reached out to me? Yeah, that person did too. They're not going to do that. And you would be surprised how many people actually want to help, right? If you are coming from a place of service and giving value and letting them know, like, hey, could you give me some good advice as to how I can, network my way into this company? Anyone that you have a connection with, anyone that you went to school with, is another great person that you can actually ask for help with in your job search. But if we're speaking about specific companies, try to find out who it is in those companies and reach out to them with good, solid networking messages, okay? That's your best way. And I know this is tedious and a lot of people won't do this. They'll just keep on applying as much as possible. But if you take the time to put together, compose a good networking message that provides value. And again, depending on who you're networking with and what you're asking for, whether it's an informational interview or whether you had applied and now you're trying to get into that particular job. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so that's my bit of advice. Also, the next thing that I'm going to advise you do is when you are interested with certain companies, if you are applying to certain companies and you are passionate about those companies, go to their website on LinkedIn. So just go ahead into the search results. I'm going to use Pinterest as an example again. I'm going to put in Pinterest and you'll see you'll see the company, right? So that's going to be their company profile. The URL is usually linkedin.com/company/company name. And I'm on their company name right now, company site right now on LinkedIn. And there is a place where you can follow them, okay? Which is a good thing because it creates something called brand engagement. In LinkedIn Recruiter, one of the last fields is anyone that's interacted with the brand. So you can interact with the brand by applying to positions, but also following the company. And if I'm a recruiter at Pinterest and you had just applied, I land on your profile and see that you are following the company, that's definitely going to be good. But also on LinkedIn Recruiter, they can see if you're following the companies, if you've had any kind of brand engagement, that's really good. You could also see the people you're connected with. So that's a great way to find people within that organization that you can reach out to. All right, so what else? Okay, so let's talk about other ways you can optimize. This is going to be the last bit because this was a lot. This was a lot more than I was anticipating. But a good place, another place that's going to help with optimization is articles. So if you guys love to blog, okay, if you have a blog, if you love to blog, if you like to write about your industry, things you're passionate about, publishing articles on LinkedIn is great, especially if there's any kind of writing involved in your position as an administrative assistant, as someone that's in marketing, if you have any kind of like projects that you've worked on. There was one of my students from the Get Hired Master Plan, which is my signature course. If you guys need to know about it, go ahead and DM me. I'm not talking about that today, but if there was I was working with a student of mine and she worked on a passion project. So she was doing data and she was compiling data as to how people work. It was her passion project. So while you're out of work, you can definitely create a project for yourself as well to keep you busy, but you can also publish an article about it, right? You can interact with people. And this is another great tip is as you're scrolling through your feed, don't just scroll through your feed, interact with people, comment on people, because people, especially influencers, right? There are influencers in different industries. And if you don't know who those are for you, I follow a lot of HR people, a lot of recruiting influencers, but if you Google your industry and HR leaders, go ahead and follow those people, get involved in conversations that they post about. That's a great way to get more eyeballs onto your profile and also build connections. Like if you see someone that you agree with their comment and you comment back, that's a great way to build an organic relationship. Definitely. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to give, this is not a tip for job search strategy, but this is a tip for my fellow entrepreneurs and my fellow side hustlers and my fellow freelancers, and also a tip for anyone that has a useful skill, but right now maybe you're unemployed and you would love to do a project for someone and make some extra money. For anyone looking to do that, there is a great feature. If you go to the very top of LinkedIn and you go under, there should be a work tab at the very top. There's a learning tab, an insights tab, post a job, advertise salary. There is something called ProFinder. I'm going to link you guys to it. And ProFinder is where you can submit a proposal to people. I'll leave it in the comments here. LinkedIn. So it's LinkedIn. linkedin.com/profinder. And what you could do is right now, like say Nika, like I know she's a VA. So this is advice for someone who is a VA, but again, you can use it in different ways as well. If you're a social media marketer, if you design logos, if you're a copywriter, whatever it is. So I'm a career coach. That is one of the categories. I'm a resume writer, right? So what you could do is in a current position that you have right now, put a company name. You can make up whatever company name you want and put yourself as that person. So what Nika could do is put virtual assistant at her company, put out, like in the job description, what it is that she specializes in. I know that she helps entrepreneurs with project related tasks and job search strategy. Business strategy. So she could put that, and then you can submit your profile to be a ProFinder profile, and then LinkedIn is going to send you people that you're that are looking for services like your own. So you get to submit a proposal. And the good thing about this is, like if you post, for example, Nika will go into Facebook groups and she'll post, someone will be looking for a VA, and there'll be like 20,000 posts on there, right? On LinkedIn ProFinder, you're able to submit. There's only 5 people that can submit a proposal, only 5. So it's you against 5 other people. If you send a good proposal, remember it's always about networking and getting into like the mind frame of sending good networking messages on LinkedIn. Chances are you'll get that proposal answered, and that person will have a conversation with you and you'll get hired for your services. So that's definitely a tip if you're looking for any kind of like freelancing work, or trying to start a side hustle in addition to your everyday corporate job. That's definitely a place that I definitely love, and I've gotten a lot of clients from LinkedIn ProFinder. So you guys, let me know. So it's been 4 months, Erin, not a problem. So just position yourself in a way that is empowering and that you're looking for that next position, because you know what, I'm probably certain that you have been actively looking for your next opportunity and it just hasn't come along. So just spin that in a positive way and say that you're looking for a great place where you can see yourself long term, and that's what you've been doing for the past 4 months. But definitely keep yourself busy, take online courses, stay relevant, stay up to date, and you'll be good. Okay, so what else do I have to say? I want to invite you guys, if you loved this training, if you loved my style of teaching, I would love to invite you guys to a training that I am doing. It's going to be off of Facebook. I'm going to link you guys to it. I will be walking through resumes. I'm going to be walking through cover letters. So if you need help on that end as well, definitely join me for this training. I'm going to be linking it right now in both the group and on my page. So it is on the Career Manifestations website. If you go to the very beginning of Career Manifestations, there's a big border where you can join, or you can find it in the link. I'm actually going to pin it. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. I think I answered all of this. This has been helpful. You're welcome, Erin. So happy to help you. I'm going to pin this comment. Yeah, so if you need help with your resume, if you need more in-depth training, if you enjoy this training, if you need help with putting together good networking messages that I told you about, there is an art and science to putting together a good networking message on LinkedIn that will get a response. Putting together a cover letter, there is an art and science to getting a response on your cover letter from employers, right? So sorry, I'm just getting distracted with all the people coming in. So again, join me on this live training. If you loved this training, I know we've gone for now, it's been over an hour. I give you guys a lot, so feel free to rewatch it and go step by step. But again, if you are interested in going into more detail about resumes, about LinkedIn, about cover letters, about LinkedIn networking messages, and how to find the right companies for you, hop on that training. It's happening next Tuesday at 7 p.m. This was so much fun, you guys. Thank you so much, Priceless. I love this. Okay, so I'm going to be doing trainings just like this every Friday. We'll find newer topics, and I loved how engaged you guys were about LinkedIn, and I love you guys so much. Good luck in your job searches and whatever it is that you are looking to do on LinkedIn. Bye for now.